This is a backhand tutorial for throwing a dog disc. The disc that I use is the Hero Xtra 235 distance disc. First part in throwing the backhand is with the grip. So you'll notice there's ridges along the rim. So I start by putting my thumb on the ridge. Okay, I want to have the disc in the crook of my hand. So thumb on the rim, disc in the crook. And then underneath, I don't really want to be putting all my fingers underneath really tightly. I like to splay them out a little bit. It's called a fan grip. I find I get a really good grip and I can still control where the disc goes. So again, thumb on the ridges, in the crook of your hand, fingers underneath. And this allows a nice snap. So the key to any throw in dog disc, whether it's a freestyle throw, distance throw, DNA throw, doesn't matter. It's all about having really good spin on the disc. Okay? If you don't have spin, then the disc is not going to go where you want it to. You could throw it straight, but if you don't have enough spin, it's going to fall off, or it's not going to actually go as far as you want it to. So the next part is spin. Spin starts with having a really good grip on it, and then it doesn't matter if it's a long or a short throw. I start by cocking my wrist back, so the disc is resting against my forearm. And if your wrist isn't that flexible, that's okay. Don't have it underneath your arm, right? So we don't want it like that, because you're actually turning your wrist too much, and you're not going to get the maximum snap in your wrist that you want. So just cock it back, nice and comfortable, and then as you follow through on the throw, let your wrist snap. And actually what I found with this one, it doesn't matter if I throw it super light, but I get a ton of spin on it, I can actually throw it pretty far. So you can get a nice 20-yard throw just based on spin alone. And then obviously the next step to that is having power. So the power in a throw for the backhand comes from the body, from your arm, and from the turn. And so as I'm turning, right, so as you notice, my hips turn, my shoulders turn, my head turns. Everything moves together, and then I snap back. So because we're playing dog disc, we're not playing ultimate, we're allowed to move our feet, so we don't have to have a pivot foot. For me, because I come from an ultimate background, it's the most natural and comfortable for me. So when I like to throw a backhand, I like to have that pivot foot. It's a nice rhythm for me, right? I get the disc, I can step, I can throw. So the key here is you develop your own rhythm for throwing. Whether you like to throw from one knee, that's fine. Whether you like to take a couple steps and throw, but develop a rhythm. And especially for DNA, you don't want that rhythm to be too long, because as the dog comes back and gives you the disc and takes off, if you're step up, if you're taking 5 steps, your dog's already out at the 20-yard line, you're going to have to compensate by throwing a really fast throw that's probably going to not be caught by the dog. So what you want to be doing is have a nice, efficient rhythm to your throw. Dog comes back, gives you the disc, you pick it up, the dog goes, you throw. The only way to get that is by practicing. So take your stack of discs, do it 100, 200, 300 times. Practice that over and over and over until it's second nature. And then when you're in a competition and you start getting nervous, everybody gets nervous. I get nervous in a competition. But in a competition, your muscle memory will come into play, and those nerves won't take over. Okay? So even if you're not really sure, even if you had a bad throw, it's okay, because you can trust that you've thrown that throw 1,000 times, 2,000 times. Dog comes back, you get the disc, you step out, you throw, it's a nice rhythm to that throw. Okay, that all comes with practice. So as I said, the mechanics of the throw are having a good grip, cocking the wrist back, getting a nice snap, moving your hips, your shoulders, your head together, and snapping through. For shorter throws, you may not have to do all that turn depending on how strong you are. Okay? For DNA throws, I don't have to do the big turn. I do for distance. So you actually don't have to lose sight of the field for DNA throws. You can just have that nice rhythm, step out, throw it straight ahead. Okay, everybody does it differently, but what you want to do is find what works for you and your dog. At this point, if you've been playing disc for a while, you probably have a little routine with your dog already that works. And what probably doesn't work is your throws aren't as good as they could be for your dog. Okay, sometimes you feel like you let your dog down. That's okay. Go practice, get better at throwing, and then your dog will be rewarded because they'll catch more. You'll have more fun, and then you'll also do better, right? It's more fun to do well. It's fun to catch. It's fun to connect with your dog and have your dog catch your throws. So I say you owe it to yourself and your dog to go throw, but more importantly, you owe it to your dog to learn how to throw so your dog can catch. That's a tutorial video on the backhand for throwing dog disc.